All right, everybody, what is up? Welcome back to the Interstate 69 Motorsports YouTube channel. Today, before we hop into this walk around of the 2024 Xpedition ADV 5, I want you guys to go ahead and make sure to click that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that like button because you know you're going to love this video. Make sure to catch all the new content. Polaris did just release a new Ranger, so we hope to have a video out on that soon. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Without further ado, let's hop into this bad boy. So you guys already know it comes on 30-inch Pro Armor Crawler XP tires. We've got our Fox Podium Series shocks. So what that's going to do is give you a nice plush ride with plenty of travel. It's got 14 inches of travel up front, which I think is really cool. Then we have our Polaris factory bumper right here, so you get a little bit of protection on the front fascia and the grille. And tucked underneath that bumper, we've got a Polaris 4,500-pound winch. And guys, in the grille, we have our LED headlights with a cool little ambient mode. Let me hit the key for you real quick. And you can see that we have, sorry guys, one more click. So you can see we've got some cool little ambient lighting right there. Not only, just kind of gives it a little accent, makes it look real cool when you're riding down through the trail. And right beside our headlights, guys, we have got our battery tender port. So basically what this is for storage. So if you guys are going to be putting the machine up, these machines do come with maintenance batteries. So we need to make sure we plug them up. But other than that, guys, let's go ahead and dive on the inside. All right, guys. So as we hop into the 2024 Xpedition, guys, as you can hear, that is a nice, crisp close on the door. So these doors, they close really well, kind of automotive style, and they also seal up really well. So it's going to keep a lot of dust outside the cab, which is, I know, has been a big complaint with the Rangers and other North Stars or other machines with doors if they don't seal up well. These seal up great, and just from what I've seen on the forums and stuff, a lot of people are actually saying that these machines keep a lot of the dust down. Now, being that this is the ultimate model, but it is not a North Star. So if you guys notice, of course, the entire cab is open. We do still have our roof liner, like you would see in a cab machine or a more premium machine that is enclosed, but this machine does not have the glass. So it has the doors and everything available to be closed in, but it does not have, or it is not from the factory with the North Star heat and air. So diving on into what makes this machine an ultimate. So the steering wheel will be the same on all models. It's a very nice steering wheel. It's good size. It's not too large to be in the way, but it's not too small to feel like you don't have anything to hold on to. But the big thing is how the steering wheel moves. So you have your tilt, but you also have a telescope. So that's something you might see or be a little bit more familiar with your automotive industry, which I think is really cool. It's just another way that Polaris has really thought about the comfort of the operator. So let's talk about what we have up in front of us. So we have our gauge, digital analog. We have our RPMs and mile per hour on the side, as well as a center information gauge that will tell us whether we're in what drive mode we're in, as well as comfort and standard. And you can swap between to show engine temperature and a couple other different things. And that leads me again to another feature of this ultimate model is that it has a 7-inch display with ride command. If you got, I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen what these gauges look like when the machine is actually on. But you can actually sort through the gauges and see what they look like and all the information of the machine, as well as manage all of your audio that's going to be coming through your JBL audio system. So you guys can see right here, we also have some tweeters and we have speakers down low and a subwoofer right here. So we're going to get plenty of bass out of that factory system. And guys, let me tell you, it is extremely loud and it sounds extremely good. But moving on from the ride command, if we come down here, we've got our rocker switches. So these are all factory switches that come for your winch. This is your adaptive throttle mode. So you have comfort, standard, and sport. So this is comfort's going to be more of a slow, laid back, kind of laggy throttle response. Standard is going to be your typical response that you'd be used to, and sport's going to be a little bit more pep, a little bit more responsive to the throttle. And basically how this works is just that there's increased voltage through the throttle sensor, which basically just increases sensitivity. Then right beside that, we've got our drive modes. So the Xpedition does have the turf mode, kind of like the Rangers, which is pretty cool. So basically it's where one wheel would pull in the rear end, so it unlocks the differential. Then you have your two-wheel drive, which is a lock differential in the rear end, and then four-wheel drive, which is lock differential both front and rear. This does come with Polaris's standard all-wheel drive. So basically if there's any slip in the rear end, it'll automatically engage all four wheels, which is really neat. If we come down here, we've got plenty of slots for other accessories, whether that be light bars, any other audio, or whatever you guys may be throwing on this machine, whether it be chase lights or just whatever you guys are wanting to tackle. You have a spot for wiring and putting in your rock switches. We have our shifter right here. You guys know I'm going to talk about it. I love how Polaris is doing their new shifters. They're really crisp. There's no guessing what gear you're in. They move very well. Then we also have our grab handle and our cup holders here for our passengers to make sure everybody's comfortable in the machine. One quick thing I want to talk about is that this machine is very comfortable to sit in. These seats have a nice amount of bolstering on the sides and down low, as well as how far away you actually sit from the windshield on the vehicle. So with Rangers, I notice a lot of people complain about how close you actually sit to the windshield or how close it feels, just because of how the Ranger is set up. This machine is set up to where you feel like you're in a larger machine than you really are. And the windshield, which would actually mount flush right here, thanks to Polaris putting grooves in the cage, the windshield would mount flush down on the dash and seal up perfectly again, guys, keeping that dust and water out. But with your windshield sealed up and set on here, you still feel like you're sitting very far away, and kind of, honestly, it feels like you're in an automobile, which is pretty neat. The Ultimate models do come with a rear view mirror right here, so if you guys need to see what's behind you, you can adjust that. And other than that, guys, let's go ahead and check out the back seat. So the ADV5 comes with fold flat rear seats, which I think is a really cool feature. It's something we haven't seen from Polaris before. So let's go ahead and look and see what these seats look like folded down. All right, guys, so we've made it to the back of the machine. We want to take a look at the back seats on this machine. So this is going to be a machine that's going to be a lot of time spent in. This machine comes with the largest fuel capacity and fuel range of over 200 miles, or advertised 200 miles. So this machine is going to have a lot of seat time in it. These seats are no exception to the front. They still come with plenty of bolstering, very comfortable for a rear passenger. You have a lot of leg room. The back seats do still fold up. So if we fold the seat up, these cup holders are removable, so you can take the cup holders out, and you still have plenty of room to store anything you needed to. But let's go ahead and drop this seat down real quick before we hop into how the seats fold down. We do have our JBL audio back here, so your rear passengers can also get your audio or get your sound that you got going through. But guys, I'm going to climb in just to make this easier on me. But you can do it standing up from the rear. There's a rope back here, kind of like you may see in some vehicles actually, but basically this is a catch release. So you pull that and your seat unlocks, and if I can get out of the way here, so we can see that we can fold the rear of the seats completely down to get a little bit more storage space. And there is it's kind of the same style bed mat type plastic here, so it's made for storage. It's made for stuff to be set on top of it, which is really cool that Polaris has utilized every aspect of the machine to do pretty much whatever you need it to do. If you don't have rear passengers, you just have that much more storage options and that much more storage possibilities. Being that this machine is typically designed for people that are going to be overlanding or going on long camping trips, you guys know you can almost never have enough storage, and Polaris really went outside and thought hard and made it a way that you can not only carry the passengers if you need to, but also have plenty of storage just in case you don't have rear passengers. But let's go ahead and take a look from the tailgate and see actually how much bed space you actually get from the rear. All right, everybody, as you can see, I'm taking a load off here on the Xpedition tailgate. This tailgate does come with cutouts for beverages. If you guys want to get where you're going, take a load off, drink a cold beverage, you've got a spot to lay it without it getting knocked over. And you guys can see behind me here, we've got a ton of room now that we have the rear seats folded down. So it's about 5 foot worth of flat space that you're able to put all kinds of cargo, whatever you may be carrying. And you guys know, taking these big trips, that is a ton of storage. And when you partner that with the lock and ride max rails that Polaris is putting in these Expeditions, you have tons or endless possibilities for storage solutions. So these lock and ride max rails, they come with a ton of accessories, not only just tie down points, but also other accessories that mount to these rails that help with storage. And I think that's super awesome that Polaris is going above and beyond and innovating and making these possibilities not only with the accessory lineup, but also just tie downs and storage. It really goes to show that they're really thinking about the people that are going to be using these machines and innovating to make sure that we have a quality machine that's going to hold up to what we put it through. All right, guys, so we're down low here. And mainly the reason why I got down low here at the back of the machine is because there's a lot that I don't want you guys to miss. So we've got our large exhaust right here covering up the Polaris ProStar Gen 2. So it's a 114 horse, 2-cylinder Polaris engine. And you guys may remember that's actually what came with our Polaris Razor 1000. So not only did the Xpedition use a similar power plan, but they also used a similar clutch setup. So they're modeled very closely with each other. And the reason why that's important is that the Xpedition has a super smooth clutch engagement. The throttle input is super smooth. So basically, when throttle is applied, the machine smoothly gets up to speed and stays at a constant speed without any jerkiness, or basically just makes it as smooth and as seamless as possible with acceleration. This machine has arched A-arms, front and rear. We have isolated mounted rear diffs and front diff as well. And so the big thing with isolation when it comes to differentials is it cuts down on drivetrain noise and vibration to try and give as smooth and as quiet a ride as possible. We still have our Fox Podium series shocks in the rear. And guys, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but underneath the bed there's a giant heat shield here. And basically what that's trying to do is keep as much heat out of the cab as possible. There's also a big mat under the rubber mat that is in the bed to help with sound deadening as well as temperature control to try and keep the cargo that's in the bed cool. And you guys, I know a lot of you guys asked in the previous videos of our Northstar ADV review how to access the engine. There actually is a panel or a compartment under the bed mat after you take everything out to be able to service the engine, which I think is pretty smart on Polaris to include, being that there's not really a great engine access to the naked eye. But after you take all that out, you are able to get to the engine and service it. But other than that, guys, let's just go ahead and hop to one little feature that I think you guys will enjoy. And then we'll give this thing a start up and just see how it sounds. All right, guys, so saved a pretty cool part for last. So we have our step right here, and if you guys just open the door and look at it, you wouldn't think it was a step. You'd kind of wonder why Polaris put it there. But this is a step to actually reach roof access. You guys can demonstrate real quick. You can climb up here, and if you guys have any kind of roof storage, whether it be a tent or another rack up here that you're accessing, the step makes it extremely easy to access whatever you may have up on the roof. And that's why Polaris actually designed the Xpedition to have such a flat roof. It's for all storage and or other necessities. So like I said, they do have the rooftop tent accessory that a lot of people are using. This kind of makes it kind of like an overland setup, which is really neat. But other than that, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started up so you guys can see what it sounds like. And there you guys have it. There's our walk around on the 2024 Xpedition ADV 5 Ultimate. If you guys are interested in this machine or placing a deposit on a machine like this, go ahead and give us a call. Interstate 69 Motorsports, 731-885-1792. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and make sure to leave them down below. While you're writing that comment, make sure you click the like button. And I think the subscribe button is pretty close to that, so go ahead and click on that so you don't miss our video covering, we have a variety of things coming up, guys. We've got our Stark Vargs, which is a cool 80 horsepower electric dirt bike. And then we also are planning on doing a big video on the Ranger XD 1500s when we get one in. So you guys don't want to miss that. But other than that, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.